This week on the Wild West Bass Trail.
We're gonna be catching big bass at the Duel on the Delta, baby.
We're gonna try to win this thing.
Cal Delta, let's get it on.
The skilled pros of the Wild West Bass Trail take on the massive California Delta.
Big fish.
Oh, come on, Jeff.
It's the last stop on the road to the championship.
That is a giant. That is a giant.
I'm ready.
Got him. It's the biggest fish I've ever caught out of.
This is a good one.
That is a giant. That's for $18,000.
Wild West, baby.
Welcome to Oakley, California and the Big Break Marina for the Wild West Bass Trail General Tires Duel on the Delta. Gary, our anglers have a massive playing field this week, don't they?
You know, they do. The Delta is gigantic. You can run hundreds of miles in numerous directions. It's a tidal fishery. We have 2 tide swings a day, and we might lose 4 to 5 foot of water in one of the swings. The fish really key in on the tide changes. A lot of vegetation, a lot of tules, a lot of different weed growth. It's an awesome fishery, big fish. It's gonna be great.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the California Delta. This is the Duel on the Delta, and it's the third and final Pro-Am stop for our Northern California Wild West Bass Trail. The guys are going to be fishing in 106-degree heat today, and the topwater bite should be spectacular. We're going to be paying out $100,000 to these anglers, and the top 50 anglers in our tour are going to qualify for the championship on Lake Mead in Nevada. That won't be a cool tournament either, folks. So these guys are going to have to get used to fishing in sweltering heat and making these fish bite no matter what the conditions are.
It's gonna be one with 7 to 8 pound fish, okay? Whoever gets the 1 or 2 7 to 8 pound fish a day will win the tournament, no doubt. They're not gonna win it with a 4 or 5 pound average, no way.
Wild West Bass, last regular season event on the California Delta. You know, we started the year at a spotted bass fishery, and then the weather was terrible. Went to Oroville, the weather again, Mother Nature, and then here on the Delta, it's been 100 degrees leading into today. You know, the Delta, it's a tidal fishery. Typically the water's stained, so you can throw a lot of big line. You know, guys are gonna be catching them on a lot of topwater baits. You're gonna be able to punch fish. With the heat, you know, guys are gonna be throwing Senkos and drop shotting and doing those types of things. It's gonna be very kind of a smorgasbord or potpourri type of fishing. You know, a lot of guys are gonna be doing a lot of different things to have a shot at winning.
I'm trying to get a big one early. So I figured topwater's the best way to get a big bite here in the summertime, as far as I'm concerned. And a frog is one of my favorite baits to throw in that scenario, especially when flat calm like this. But they're just a little lazy this morning. They're just kind of rolling on it, swirling on it, not eating it. That's a big one. Yeah. Well, I thought that was a lot bigger the way she ate it. Gotta start somewhere though. Little one.
So we're out on the edge of Frank's track this morning. We're following Bryant Smith here. He's throwing a topwater buzzbait. We've got a high outgoing tide this morning with not a lot of wind, so the topwater bite should be good. He's had a couple big swirls on his bait already. No big ones in the boat yet, but both the front and back seater in this boat do have keepers in the live well. We've got a lot of current coming through this berm in a nice big flat area with sparse tules, and we could see a huge blow up here any minute.
Lucas Oil Pro Ken Ma is no stranger to the Delta. This morning, Ken is punching a jig with a crawl trailer through heavy weeds. A big fish technique on the Delta.
Shoot, what a beautiful day, man. So it's been warm. You know, the nighttime lows have been like 60 degrees, and you know, a lot of these fish will seek shelter in the abundant grass that's all over the Delta, and then you have these, you know, primrose and pennywort mats, and you know, the cheese and stuff. I mean, they just live in the grass.
And I love grass fishing. Don't come off. Don't you come off. I think he came off. Nope. Little one. Keeper. A lot of these fish biting. First Delta keeper.
Topwater frogs, drop shots, crankbaits. It's post-spawn on the Delta, folks. Don't miss a minute. We'll be right back.
The most versatile fishing machine on Earth. Unparalleled resolution and clarity, with more agility, lightning speed, and brute strength. HDS Carbon takes rapid response performance and screen technology to an all-new level. Maximized power, maximized visibility. See Structure Scan 3D, new dual chirp sonar, new live network sonar, and more mapping options, all at the same time and faster than ever before. Arm yourself.
You bought her many years ago, and she's been there for you every day since. It's because you've taken care of her, pampered her. Only the best will do. That's why you choose Lucas Oil Marine products to protect her. Every day she starts, gets you there, and gets you back, even after all these years. Lucas Oil Marine products, because it's no fun to walk back to shore from the middle of the lake.
You know, I've never really had an office job.
Ooh, morning, Skate.
Morning, Edwin. Go to teamgtfishing.com to see more.
Wild West Bass Trail is brought to you by Lucas Oil Marine Products, made in America, sold to the world. Ranger Boats, driven to dominate. By Evinrude, official engine of the Wild West Bass Trail. General Tire, anywhere is possible. And by Yamamoto Custom Baits, because what you fish matters. Day one of the General Tire Duel on the Delta. This enormous fishery winds throughout 700,000 acres. In the heart of the Delta is Oakley, California, a friendly community and host to anglers and staff of the Wild West Bass Trail.
The city of Oakley is located in eastern Contra Costa County, equal distance between San Francisco and Sacramento. It is known as a place for families in the heart of the Delta. Here, families enjoy a wide variety of home choices that cater to all income levels. Oakley residents enjoy parks, trails, and open space, as well as recreation activities on the Delta, including world-class fishing, boating, and sightseeing. Come and enjoy Oakley, a family-friendly community where residents enjoy a high quality of life, civic amenities, recreation activities, and a small-town charm.
The California Delta is a tidal fishery, affecting every move an angler makes.
On the Delta, it's really not about finding just an area because the tide affects the bite so much. It's really about, fine-tuning the windows in which they're gonna bite whatever it is you want to throw. And that's what makes the fishery so tricky is, you can be in an area that, there's absolute, without a doubt, there's winning fish in. But if you don't have the window, the tide window down when those fish want to bite, you'll swear to God there's not a fish in there. So the trick is to find those windows in various areas to make yourself productive. It's not like fishing on a lake where, you can find a point where the fish are just piled up on and you just squat on them.
There is no one who knows the Delta better than Robert Lee. With 4 straight Bassmaster event wins, Robert understands the nuances of the Delta.
Yeah, this is kind of a hit or miss deal right around in here. I mean, I'm sitting in 18 feet of water, but right up where I'm throwing, it's maybe 3 feet. These late spawners will get in this right next to the deep water and move in out of the current. There's one. That's a beauty. Okay. Mouth open, 13 1/4. Well, that's 3, 2 9s, and I'm good.
California Delta, it's a massive fishery. Tidal influenced, there's hundreds of miles of riprap levees. There's a lot of flooded islands. There's a lot of points and islands in all of these rivers. But where do you start? Many anglers will go chase the tide. They'll want to fish a high tide. So as the tide's coming in, they'll continue to run inland and stay with that higher water. As the higher water keeps moving inland, they stay right with it. Other anglers don't feel comfortable chasing tides for 3 hours or so a day. So what they do is they'll get in an area and they'll learn it. They'll figure out what those fish are doing at high tides and what those fish are doing at low tides. Maybe reaction bait fishing in the morning with a high water. Maybe it's flipping and pitching in the afternoon. You have to determine how you're gonna approach the Delta. Are you gonna run and gun and chase those tides, or are you gonna hunker down and figure out what they're doing in that area on the high and the low swings? Either one can be a winning technique.
A little bit tough this morning, but getting a few little bites and kind of waiting for the tide to drop down a little bit, build the current up a little bit, and kind of consolidate the fish, keep them from running around so much. And you always get a little bit better idea where to cast, you know, when it starts to concentrate everything. But the tide's getting down a little bit, so we're getting around that prime time. Look out, look out. Maybe a keeper, huh?
Yeah. Still early in the morning. Now we're around Mildred Island, fishing a rock levee here with Roy Hawk in the front of the boat and Fidel Campos in the back. They just put their first keeper in the boat. Still got high tide, outgoing. And once again, just like in our last boat, front of the boat, Roy's going for a bigger bite with a topwater bait. Fidel's trying to put keepers in the boat with a Senko in the back of the boat. Of course, we know Senkos on this body of water can also weigh 10-pounders, but that seems to have been a pattern so far in our fishermen this morning.
We're gonna go make another move. I got some bluegill beds kind of mapped out. So we're gonna go fishing around those bluegill beds. Hopefully the tides dropped down a little bit, kind of pulled some of the fish out from the real super shallow stuff, and see if we can catch some fish, maybe topwater or Senko or something like that. Go have some fun anyway.
Robert Lee, though catching bass, knows he needs bigger fish if he is to be in contention.
I got 3 that are definitely males that were on beds, although you can't see them. I decided to try to fish these late spawners on the high tide in the morning. Hope for an 8, 7 to 10, you know, and then that's the whole derby right there. But if you don't get it, you get 9 pounds, but that's a chance you take. Come on, right here. I mean, I have freaking caught them right in these tubes right here before. No practice, just pull up, catch them. That's what you're supposed to do. There we go. I know those tulies right there. Those are some of my little pet fish, but this one's not too big.
You know, I'm not looking to win right here. I'd like 1 that I don't have to cull, but if I can get 2 that I don't have to cull. Not sure if that was 1. You know, when you're doing this technique though, if you think there's 1 there, you gotta swing because it doesn't cost you anything. Swing first, ask questions later. Lay that one in.
The most versatile fishing machine on Earth. Unparalleled resolution and clarity, with more agility, lightning speed, and brute strength. HDS Carbon takes rapid response performance and screen technology to an all-new level. Maximized power, maximized visibility. See Structure Scan 3D, new dual chirp sonar, new live network sonar, and more mapping options, all at the same time and faster than ever before. Arm yourself.
Launching a Ranger aluminum boat that's cut full of holes may sound a little crazy, but with so much closed-sail foam inside, it's easy to see the added safety and stability. It's a huge confidence booster, especially with so much quality inside, along with Ever-New D-Tech's unrivaled performance and 300 hours with no dealer scheduled maintenance. Ranger aluminum is built to excel and priced to be yours.
Power your Ranger with Ever-New D-Tech.
You know, I've never really had an office job.
Ooh, morning, Skate.
Morning, Edwin. Go to teamgtfishing.com to see more.
We're on the water in Oakley, California for the General Tire Duel on the Delta. Let's go check in on our anglers.
Local favorite Ken Ma has 4 fish in the boat. No panic. Ken knows the bite can change instantly.
There's a lot of little ones nipping, but a big one wants it, a big one's gonna eat it. That's a nice one. Yes. You know, regardless of what's leading it, you know, whether it's me or whoever else, it doesn't really matter because it's the end weight you got to get to. I still got to catch them tomorrow regardless of what happens today, and it's not easy to catch them. You know, it's really not. Conditions are going to change, you know, the cloud cover is going to go away. So, you know, there's a lot of adjusting that's going to happen.
We've relocated out to the eastern portion of the Delta, and we've come up on 4-time Bassmaster Delta champion Robert Lee in the front of the boat with Dink Mendez in the back of the boat. Robert Lee's known for being a Delta stud with power baits, but it's been different today. While many of our pros have tried to be a hero with topwater, Robert's understood that that's been a tougher bite. He's been pitching Senkos and drop shots to catch all these fish, and I guarantee you many of our other pros would not believe that if we were to tell them.
Oh, there's a good one. That's a good one. He feels bigger. Oh yeah, here's the one right here. 4-pounder. If he stays on, maybe 5. He's strong. Oh yeah, baby. Oh, this stuff here. That's the female. It's not an 8, but weird size.
We've got about 2 hours left in our fishing day, and we've come up on another one of our leading anglers. Richard Dobbins is behind me, fishing in the front of this boat, and he is right now our day 1 leader with 25 pounds in the boat, anchored by a 10-plus pound kicker. We're in the middle of the San Joaquin River, and he's been doing this entirely with crankbaits and topwater. He's power fishing. Unlike Ken Ma and Robert Lee, he's doing it different, and Richard is absolutely knocking their lights out with a crankbait and a topwater.
Oh, hold on, I got a freaking good one. Strong fish. He's not big, but yeah, it's a 3-pounder maybe.
As the temperatures rise, Robert Lee is starting to put a nice limit together.
Hey, Jared, nice spawned elk male. I'll take him. All right, no, I need an 8. no doubt.
Robert's not only one of the most knowledgeable Delta fishermen we have, but he's one of the most mechanically proficient anglers. It wouldn't surprise anybody if we crowned Robert the champion tomorrow. The champion of the General Tires Duel on the Delta.
Total performance. Nowhere could it be more defined than in the Ranger Z series. With unparalleled advancements, these rigs are driven to dominate. Coupled with Evinrude E-Tech's unrivaled performance and up to 500 hours with no dealer scheduled maintenance, they're the ultimate fishing machines. The legendary leadership of the Ranger Z500 series. It's the kind of feeling nothing else can touch. Power your Ranger with Evinrude E-Tech.
Is there a place where the underwater images are the clearest you've ever seen? We're seeing every fish, we're seeing every detail of structure, and where every bottom contour was visible, where whatever you wanted to see below the surface was real. Do you want to go? Structure Scan 3D is the future of fishing. We can show you how to find fish faster and catch fish in a way you've never experienced. Let's get them.
You bought her many years ago, and she's been there for you every day since. It's because you've taken care of her, pampered her. Only the best will do. That's why you choose Lucas Oil Marine products to protect her. Every day she starts, gets you there, and gets you back, even after all these years. Lucas Oil Marine products, because it's no fun to walk back to shore from the middle of the lake.
You know, I've never really had an office job.
Ooh, morning, Skate.
Morning, Edwin. Go to teamgtfishing.com to see more.
Wild West Bass Trail is brought to you by Lowrance, for anglers who want it all. Dobbins Rods, fish to win. Super Clean, super easy, super fast, super clean. By P-Line, because we fish. Gator Guards, the ultimate in boat protection. And by Adorap Industrial Decals, official graphics and sign provider of the Wild West Bass Trail. With day one complete, rumors abound of several big fish, but a trying day for most anglers.
I got a little bag of fish, but there's always tomorrow.
Brutal tough. My co-angler had a big bag though. He did good.
Today was awesome. Started off a little slow, but in the afternoon it picked up.
It was tough though. It was a weird bite today. They weren't eating things properly like they usually do.
Definitely a struggle today.
As the anglers file through the scales, it is apparent that most caught fish, but the weights are down for the Delta.
Always a good time when you're out fishing. 13.65 pounds. His bag weighs 14.03 pounds. Plenty of keepers. 14.09 pounds is not going to have you out of it on day one. The weights are pretty far down so far.
First to break the 20-pound barrier is Mike Birch.
Pro angler Mike Birch with a bag of fish. Looks like a pretty good bag, Mike. Oh, it's a really good bag, Mike. 20.5 pounds. 20.5 pounds is going to have you well within our top 10.
Bo Jodry ups the ante.
Looks like you might have a pretty good bag, huh?
Two good ones.
Two good ones in that bag. We're going to see a good bag here, folks. Yep, we got another 20-pound bag. Bo Jordy bringing 20.59 pounds to the stage.
Local pro Ken Ma is next to step up to the scales.
Ken is an outstanding professional angler. He calls the Delta his home water. Come on up here, Ken. 21.87 pounds. 21.87 pounds has you right up near the top of our leaderboard.
I'm extremely happy with my weight. You know, day one, I always look at day one as a positioning day. You know, like I said up there, you know, day one's for show, day two is for dough. So, you know, it doesn't really, I'm in a good position, and you know, I got to catch them tomorrow. I got to adjust and catch them tomorrow. That's what it comes down to.
Pro angler Sean Menderman takes a swing at the lead.
5 fish, and he's bringing a big fish up. All right, Sean, thank you for coming out. Sounds like you had a pretty good day, huh?
I did. It was a lot of fun today. We caught a lot of fish.
If I'm not mistaken, we've got a new leader on the pro side, folks. 22.31 pounds, and that's Sean Minderman. You want to weigh a big one, right? Beautiful fish. Beautiful fish. Look at that. Yeah, that's a good one. 9.11 pounds. 9.11 pounds. New big fish of the tournament for Sean Minderman.
Finally, Richard Dobbins brings a huge bag to the scales.
Richard Dobbins coming up next. Richard Dobbins. We saw Richard out on the water, and folks, we're gonna have a huge bag here for you. Yep, we've got a new leader on the pro side, and that's Richard Dobbins with 25.40 pounds.
Today was a good day. We started off with a few boat problems, got a late start. Didn't get going until 8 o'clock this morning, so we had a couple hour handicap, but overall the day went really well.
Look at this big fish, everybody. That is a giant. That is a giant. We got a new big bag, and we might have a new big fish coming up next. That big fish, Dad was right, it's 9.54 pounds, 9.54. And Richard Dobbins with a solid lead after day one on the Delta. Gary, that name, Dobbins, it's vaguely familiar to me.
Yeah, Richard's my son. He grew up fishing, then tournament fishing. He actually won his first event when he was 7 years old. He's a pretty good guy.
Now, most of our anglers know Richard as that wee little guy in the back of your boat, weaned and bred fishing for spotted bass on Lake Oroville. We don't think of him so much as a largemouth fisherman.
You know, Richard gets a lot of credit for being a really stud spotted bass fisherman, and he really is a great spotted bass fisherman. But, you know, Richard's won a lot of tournaments on Clear Lake and other largemouth fisheries, and he can really catch him everywhere. People want to say he's a spotted bass fisherman, but he's far more than that. He's just a great spotted bass fisherman.
And as far as leading a huge event after day one, Richard's been there as well, hasn't he?
You know, the California Delta's had Richard's number. I mean, he's led them down here. He's had a lot of seconds and thirds on day one, but stringing 2 days together on a Delta is tough, and Richard's always stubbed his toe on day two. He's got a great pattern going. He's fishing multiple baits, so, I mean, I really think he's got a good chance.
Be sure to tune back in next week when the Wild West Bass Trail concludes the General Tire Duel on the Delta.